Okay, so let's talk about local marketing and how you get noticed. So I've got 8 top tips for you. Things you can do offline, things you can do online that are going to promote your practice and get people noticing you. So let's jump straight in. Number 1, the number 1 thing you must do to get noticed locally is claim your Google My Business page. I have been saying this for years, but still there are practices who have not claimed their Google My Business page. Google Your Business page is a little bit of information that pops up on Google Maps when people search. You know, you get the pin, you click on the pin, a bit of information pops up. That is the Google My Business page. You must claim your Google Your Business page so you have control over it, and then really importantly you need to engage with that Google My Business page every single week. You either need to post a video or an image or a little mini story, or you need to be getting your patients to leave reviews on there, something that just says to Google, I'm being proactive, I'm playing the Google game, I'm getting involved. If you do that, you will slowly start to see your Google My Business page move up that listing on the map, okay? There's lots of other things you need to do, but that will get you moving up the map. So claim your Google My Business page and then get proactive about using it. That is number 1. Number 2, you are going to create a document or a video that is going to be so helpful to your dream patients. Something that is going to help you demonstrate your expertise, but really importantly at the same time is really going to help them. Whether that's a document all about how to choose new school shoes, whether that's a document about how to do, or a video showing how to do stretching exercises to prevent a certain injury or to speed up recovery from a certain injury, or whether that's a video where you are showing exercises that you can do to, you know, warm up before doing some exercise or something, I don't know. But you need to produce something, a document or a video that is going to be so helpful to your potential patients. You then load that video or that document to your website, and you then contact locally any organisation that has a potential large pool of your dream patients. So whether that's a mums and tots group, whether that's a school, whether that's a sports club, a gym, another local business where their clients could be your clients, doesn't matter. It could be multiple ones of those. You contact them and you let them know you've created this thing that they can share with their members, with their patients, with their clients, with whoever is in their organisation that could really benefit from this thing, and you let them have that freely. Here's the link, here's the video, here's the link to download the document, and you share that freely amongst all of those groups locally. You do that, and then really importantly, you follow up with them in a week or so's time. You follow up and say, did you get that thing? Have you shared it with your members or what have you? Have anybody commented on it? Is there anything else I can help you with? That's number 2, create something online, a video or a document that's so helpful to your potential patients, and share it with other local organisations who can then share it with their members, and it will really benefit them. Number 3, you need to become a local champion if you are using Instagram. So I want you on Instagram to find other local businesses, other local schools, all these same people, other organisations, clubs, gyms, all those kind of people where your potential patients might be hanging out. And you need to start well, first of all, you need to follow them. Find them on Instagram and follow them so that their content starts showing up in your feed and also in your stories along the top. And when you've done that, then you can start engaging with their content. Set aside 10 minutes every day to engage with other people's content. Now, if you are engaging with other local organisations on a regular basis, they're going to get to know who you are. They're going to click the link and go and look at your profile, and as long as you've written your profile well, they're going to find out information about you. You can start having conversations. So when you find them, follow them and then engage with them on their content. Make comments and likes often, 10 minutes a day, commenting and liking other people's content from your local area. That is my top tip number 3. Okay, so local marketing top tip number 4. I want you to get proactive about getting involved with local events. Now, often businesses are contacted by schools looking for raffle prizes, or by Rotary clubs, all of those kind of organisations who are looking for speakers, as I say, somebody just to kind of come and get involved, for volunteers, helping people with donating prizes. All of that kind of stuff is going on in your local community, and often people wait to be contacted. If you are proactive, if you know that every June your local school has a careers fair where you could go along and do a presentation, if you know that every November your local Rotary puts out a call for speakers for their sessions throughout the year, if you know that there's an organisation local to you that holds a regular event in a year where you could donate some prizes or some money or something where you could go and volunteer, you know, be a steward or something at a big local event. If you are proactive about contacting those organisations and being upfront about saying, I am here, I want to volunteer, I want to donate a prize, I want to come and speak, you will really stand out, because people, like, nobody does that. People just wait to be contacted. So, you know, contact those organisations, get involved, because once you're involved, then you can share that story. You can tell people on social media that you're going to be at that event, or that you're talking at that event, or that you've donated a prize, or, you know, you can just then tell those stories on social media, which again, is just going to make more of a connection with you, and show that you are openly philanthropic. You're not being miserly and stingy and, you know, and waiting for somebody to come and then thinking, oh, I'll donate, you know, whatever it is. You're going to them and saying, how can I help you? How can I help promote your event? Can I come to your event? Can I donate a prize? Can I be a speaker? Can I be a volunteer? All of that stuff. Be proactive. Go to those organisations and put your hand up early and say, I want to be involved next year, and you will really stand out. That's top tip number 4. Top tip number 5, I want you to think about your physical space. Okay, your physical space and how you could use that physical space to get noticed locally. So think about, what have you got? You've got your clinic, you've got the building that you're in, you've potentially got a pavement outside, you've got the external facade to the building, you may have a car park. So what have you got physically in your practice and around your practice that you could use? Now, the idea is that you do something in that physical space that is out of the ordinary, something that is going to really catch people's attention. You've got to be attention grabbing. You know, this is all about getting noticed. This is not about sitting quietly and meekly and just kind of getting on with your thing. This is about getting noticed. So use your physical space to really stand out and create a conversation. So, for example, there's been a brilliant series of pictures going around in a couple of groups that I'm a member of. There's an osteopath and they have a skeleton in their window, and they do seasonal things with that skeleton. So when it's marathon season, they've got it running in a pair of trainers, not moving, but it's like in a pose that it's running. At Christmas, they've got it sitting in a chair with a Santa hat on, a big bag of gifts. They do things with that skeleton and in their window. And so every time people are walking past, they're looking, it's eye-catching, it's really grabbing people's attention and showing people that they're there. And then they're encouraging people to take pictures, share them on social media, and running contests. You know, if you share this Easter skeleton, you go in a prize draw to get an Easter egg or something. But they're encouraging that engagement by using the physical space they've got to get noticed, and then doing something really, really proactive with it. So have a think. Top tip number 5, do something with your physical space to get noticed and start conversations. Okay, so top tip number 6 is all about joining in online on a special interest, a local special interest group inside Facebook. Now, there are lots of groups. There are knee pain groups and back pain groups and running groups and rowing groups. There's all kinds of special interest groups on Facebook. You've just got to go and find them. Now, a lot of them are very resistant, obviously, to having businesses in there because they don't want people in their group by getting spammed. They just don't want that. You know what it's like if you're in a group. You don't want people like putting their hand up and saying, oh, I've got this service, I've got this service, I've got this. That's not the reason you're going into these groups. You need to find a couple of relevant local special interest groups and ask to join. Some people might reject you. Some people might just send you a message and say, oh, can I ask why you want to come in? But the whole point of going into these special interest groups is to help. If you can go in and answer questions on sports injuries or children's health or specialist speech and language therapy, or if you could, you'll find loads of regional like stroke survivors groups and things like that. So there'll be at least a couple of relevant groups that you could pitch in where you can add huge value to those members of that group. And what you're not doing is selling your services. Now, some groups have sort of rules inside the group that say strictly no selling, and you must adhere to those rules, otherwise you will get kicked out. But also, other groups have rules where they say, okay, on a Wednesday, anybody in the group who's got something for sale can pitch. And you can go in and say, I've got a special offer, or we offer this service, or you might find this useful, or we've just got a new product, or, all of that stuff. And you can go into the group and do that, but only on those specified days. So please check the rules of any groups that you join and play by the rules. The last thing you want to do is get thrown out, because these groups are rich seams of potential patients, and you're going to go in, make sure at least once a week you're going into those groups and you're adding value. Either you're commenting or sharing something, even if nobody's asking a question, share an article that you've read that could help the people in that group. Okay, or it could be a blog that you've written, it could be somebody else's, it could be a video that you found. Okay, it doesn't matter, but share things in that group that help people, whether that's answering questions or sharing directly other stuff, second party or third party, or your stuff that you found. Okay, so that's top tip number 6, is to join a local special interest Facebook group and pitch in by helping, not selling. Okay, where are we at? Number 7, my local marketing top tip number 7 is to go into Facebook and set up your practice as a geolocation. Now, when you go into Facebook and you type in, it says, what's the matter, or what are you up to, or whatever, and you start to type in, and all those little icons appear at the bottom. If you go into those, one of those is to log into a location. And if you go into that, and your practice does not appear in that list as a location, you can add a location. You can add this place where I am physically, you have to be physically in the space. This space where I physically am needs to be a geotag, and it needs to be called this, and you put in the name of your practice and you can register it as a geotag. Okay, inside Facebook. What that then means is you can geotag all of the posts that you put out on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook owns Instagram, the two are connected, and you can geotag the images that you share on Instagram, the stories you share on Instagram, the posts that you share in Facebook, and that means that you will start to build up a portfolio of posts and material that are connected to that geolocator. And what that also means is when people who are kind of local, they're passing by, they're in your practice, are looking for a geolocator close to them, yours is going to start appearing on that list of places that people can check into. Okay, so what you can then do is, as I say, tag it, every post that you share with that tag, but also encourage, if you've got any kind of patients who are active on social media while they're in your clinic, get them to use that geotag on their posts as well, because that is going to start to spread the word and get you known more locally. Okay, so top tip number 7 is to set up your practice as a geotag inside Facebook. Okay, so my final top tip number 8, my local marketing top tip number 8 is all about Instagram hashtags. And there's a really cool feature inside Instagram. You can follow people, but you can also follow hashtags. So what I want you to do, top tip number 8, is to go into Instagram and find some really good, i.e. used a lot, local hashtags. So use the search function inside Instagram, search for the name of your local area or your suburb or your town or your village or whatever it is, and look for the hashtags that come up when you carry out that search. Find the ones that are being used the most and pick 3 of them and follow them. There's a button alongside when you go into the hashtag itself, there's a button that says follow. You can click that, and what that does is that puts every post that goes onto Instagram containing that hashtag, it puts it into your feed. Now, just a word of warning, because there are a lot of places around the world that have similar or the same names. So just be mindful that if you say like Halifax, there's a Halifax in Nova Scotia, there's a Halifax in West Yorkshire. If you're using hashtag Halifax, you could very well start seeing posts that come through that are not from your location. But the whole idea is that you then start seeing these posts appearing in your feed that have contain your local hashtag, and you can start just liking. I mean, how long does that take? Just one tap, you're done. Okay, you start liking some of those posts that come through, you start commenting on some of the ones that are relevant, and people start noticing that you're popping up a lot in their feeds because you're commenting on local stuff. So top tip number 8 is to find 3 local hashtags inside Instagram using the search function, the ones that are used quite a lot, and follow them. And then when you're in your feed, when you're in Instagram each day, going through your feed, and it shows you posts that contain that hashtag, if they're relevant to you, to your practice, or maybe it's just somebody who's been somewhere that you've been, or it's one of your favorite cafes or something, like it and comment, like, comment, like, comment, like, comment, because the more you do that, the more you engage with those local posts, the more people are going to know who you are and what you do. Okay, so that is my top tip number 8. To find 3 local hashtags on Instagram and follow them and engage with the content that you then see as a result. Now, if you are watching this video anywhere else other than on jillwoods.com, you might want to head over there. There's a blog post that sits alongside this video that's got a lot more information in about local marketing and how you can really stand out from the crowd. So head over to jillwoods.com/blog and you'll find this blog post that's all about local marketing and my 8 top tips. Thank you very much for your time. If you've got any comments, questions, queries, the usual, comment in the box below this video and I will obviously get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you very much for your time. I wish you well and I will see you back in my blog next week.